Hello friends, Chris from doWhileLoops here, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at shell voicings on the guitar. Shell voicings give you a great way to learn songs quickly, as well as serving as the foundation for visualizing the rest of the fretboard. They're more than well worth your time. So let's hit it. So first off, what is a shell voicing? For that, let's check in quickly with a little bit of music theory. Normally, a chord consists of the first, third, fifth, and seventh degrees of the chord. For example, here's a C major seventh chord. A shell voicing takes away the fifth, so it consists of the first, third, and seventh degrees of the chord. This is called a shell voicing because these are the only degrees that are essential for determining the quality of the chord, be it major, minor, or dominant seventh, etc. Actually, those are the three chord types that we'll be taking a look at in this video: major, minor, and dominant sevenths. And that's all the theory we'll go into here. If you're interested in learning more though, check out my complete starter kit to music theory video, which I'll link here and in the description. But for now, on with the shell voicings. Okay, so as stated, these shell voicings are going to consist of the root, third, and seventh degrees of the chord. Also, we're going to be taking a look at three types of chords: major, minor, and dominant sevenths. So, there are basically two sets of shell voicings, one with the root on the low E string, and one with the root on the A string. We're going to be taking two basic bar chords, which is the E chord shape and the A chord shape, and altering them to create the three types of chords. So let's start with the major seventh chords, and let's start with the E string. Okay, so here's our major bar chord, and here's our root on the E string. For just this example, I'm going to be working on the 5th fret here, and that 5th fret on the E string is an A note. So this is an A major chord right here. Cool. So what we need to do is find our root, third, and seventh. Well, we have our root here on the E string, so we got that one. Our third is I use the middle finger for this one. It's the 6th fret on the G string. So there's our two notes. And we need to find our seventh. In this pure form of the chord, as they call it, there is no major seventh, so we have to create one. So let's find our second root, which is going to be the 7th fret on the D string. And let's lower that 1/2 step to the 6th fret. And if you want, you can switch your fingering around, so you got 5th fret with your index, and then middle finger on the 6th on the D string, and then third finger on the 6th fret on the G string. It's going to sound like this. Cool. Okay, so now that's the major 7th form of the chord. So let's find our dominant 7th form of the chord. Dominant sevenths are just like major sevenths, except for the 7th is lowered 1/2 step. So let's take our 6th fret on the D string and lower it 1/2 step. So my index finger is now going to be barring on the 5th fret on the D string as well. It's going to sound like this. Cool. Alright, so let's find the minor form. So for that, the third needs to lower 1/2 step. So that is my 6th fret on the G string needs to lower 1/2 step. And now my index finger is barring all of those, and it sounds like this. Cool. So that's the set with the root on the E string. Now let's move up to the A string. For that, we're going to be taking the A form of the chord right here. Again, still on the 5th fret. My root here is on the 5th fret of the A string, which is a D note. So this is a D major chord. Okay, so let's find our major 7th form. Our root is here on the 5th fret of the A string. We know that one. Now let's find our third. For that one, we have to cheat a little bit, actually. So what we're going to do is take the 4th fret of the D string like this. There's our two notes. Okay. And for our seventh, we've got to find our other root, which is the 7th fret of the G string. And to make a major 7th, we lower it 1/2 step like so. So we've got 5th fret on the A, 4th fret on the D, and 6th fret on the G. Awesome. Okay, now to make our dominant 7th, you just lower the major 7th down 1/2 step. Cool. And now to make our minor form, we just lower the 3rd down 1/2 step like this. Cool. And that is both sets of strings and their shell voicings. Okay, so why would you learn these things? What's the point of them? Well, in a word, versatility. You can use these things on songs that you're just learning and you'll be able to ramp up very quickly. In fact, if you take these things and you combine them with the cage system and knowing the names of the notes on the E and the A string, then you'll exponentially increase your speed in learning new songs. Actually, I did a video on the cage system and the notes on the E and the A strings, and I'll link it here in case you want to learn more. And the reason why that is that major, minor, and dominant 7th chords make up the vast majority of chords used in music everywhere for all of time. So if you place yourself in a position of being able to find those chords on the guitar, then it's game over. You'll be able to fake your way through songs that you don't know very well very quickly, maybe even on the fly. Another advantage is that these serve as kind of a home base for when you're doing stuff on the high strings. So you're doing some chord extensions up here or some single line stuff in between your rhythm parts, then these will give you kind of a point of reference so your fingers can find their way back home. Another thing is if you're playing solo or in a small combo setting where you might not have a bass player, these can help add some extra beef in the low end because they do have that root note on the low strings there. There are other advantages as well, but the bottom line is that once you get these under your fingers, they'll be yours for life, and you will be glad that you did. Anyway, let's hear some of these things in action. On to the demos. So what's the best way to practice these things? Well, pretty simple really. You just pick any song and you try to play it using only shell voicings. And if you run into some kind of like diminished chord or some other kind of chord that we didn't cover today, then you actually use a shell voicing and figure out how to alter it so that you can play it. That's another good thing about shell voicings is you're going to start to learn where the thirds and the sevenths are on your guitar, and that's nothing but a good thing for your playing long term. Bonus points are if you're into blues or jazz as well. These things are like the Rosetta Stone for learning songs in those genres. Master these and you'll be comping away in no time. Alright friends, that's it for shell voicings today. I appreciate you checking out the video. Please drop a like and a comment if you got something out of it. And if you're new here, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell. You'll be the first one to know and it don't cost nothing. In any case, I'm Clemons from doWhileLoops. Take it easy and enjoy making music.